cake round with 1 cup of frosting as evenly as possible. Add the second layer of cake on top, cut side down, and spread another 1 cup of frosting on top. Finally, top with the third and last layer of cake, cut side down, so the top of the cake is as flat as possible. Then spread frosting on top and on the sides of the cake, like this. I'm not using a Lazy Susan, so I'm just rotating the cake stand to smooth out the sides, and then flatten out the top. Take the red velvet crumbs and gently press them on the sides of the cake, and sprinkle them on top till the cake is fully covered. Make sure to create sharp corners at the cake's circumference edge, and pipe 16 big rosettes at the top of the cake, about 1 inch away from the edge. Hold the cake wall firmly with a spatula and pull out the parchment paper pieces from under the cake, and clean off any leftover crumbs or icing around the cake. There it is, our red ribbon inspired red velvet overload cake. Ang sarap! Place the first cake layer cut side up. Then spread half a cup of the caramel frosting onto the first layer until it's even. Place the second layer of cake cut side down. Spread another half cup of caramel frosting on top. Do the same thing with the third layer cut side up. Spread another half cup of frosting on top. And finally, top the cake with the last layer cut side down, so the top is as flat as possible. Then spread frosting on top and on the sides of the cake, like this. I'm not using a Lazy Susan, so I'm just rotating the cake stand to smooth out the sides, and then flatten out the top. Press the prepared toasted cashew pieces about halfway up the sides of the cake, like this. Clean up the excess cashews afterwards, and wipe down the sides of the cake stand. Pipe out 16 big dollops of the whipped cream frosting around 2 inches away from the edge of the cake. To make them as evenly spread out as possible, I do 4 dollops at 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock. Then I fill in 3 dollops in between, like this. Try to make each dollop the same size as much as possible. Then take a small spoon and just press it straight into the dollop to get an indentation. Then pull the frosting towards the center of the cake, creating a rich effect. And as best as you can, try to create the same indentation and rich sides, and create a giant rosette in the center of the flower, like this. There it is! Red ribbon style Yema salted caramel cake. Ang sarap! This moist chiffon cake is infused with delicious Yema salted caramel and a slight crunchy texture from the toasted cashew. Place one of the 3 cake halves cut side up on a serving plate. Take some of the frosting and spread it evenly on the cake layer, about 1/4 inches thick. Then place the second cake layer on top, this time cut side down. Similarly, spread the frosting evenly over the second layer of cake, about 1/4 inches thick. Finally, place the third cake layer on top with a cut side down, so the top of the cake is as flat as possible. Spread the frosting to cover the top and sides of the cake. I'm not using a Lazy Susan, so I'm just gently rotating the serving plate to smooth it out the sides, then flatten out the top. Blend it with a food processor till they're broken into very fine crumbs, like this. Then gently stick these crumbs to the sides of the cake, and gently sprinkle them over the top of the cake till the cake is fully covered. Is to pipe up big rosettes around the top of the cake, about 1 inch from the edge, like this. I'm trying to imitate the red ribbon design as much as I can here. And there you have it, ube overload cake. Sarap! Yum! Place one of the cake layers onto the serving dish with the flatter side down. Take some of the chocolate ganache frosting and spread it evenly onto the surface of the cake, about 1/4 inches thick. Then place the second layer on top, but this time with the flatter side up, so the top of the cake is as flat as possible. And similarly, spread the chocolate ganache frosting evenly on the top surface of the cake and the sides of the cake. I'm not using a Lazy Susan, so I'm just manually rotating the cake stand as I smooth out the sides as much as possible. And that's it. Death by chocolate cake like the one in Matilda. Yum. This cake is just so chocolatey and is one of the most decadent things you can eat.